Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Second Breakfast podcast. I'm Andy Roth alongside Phil Duvall. Say hi, Phil.
Hi.
Tonight, we're going to try something a little different because that's what we do. We try different things.
Yes. Yes.
And this is going to go up on Tuesday. Much like our 5-Minute Monday, we're calling this 10-Minute Tuesdays. 10-Minute
We're so
Tuesday.
literal.
We're so literal.
literal.
Basically, the way I see it is this might last just 5 minutes, but basically, we're saying, you know what? World, we're not going to live by your boundaries.
We're not
right?
gonna. You can't box me in with your box of
No,
boxes.
no, don't fence me in, as
That
the song goes.
as the popular song goes. I want to say something first and foremost, which is that we are. Today is election day. When you were watching this, if you were watching this, it's election day.
Yes.
It is. Many people on the interwebs and the Google webs and the Facebooks and the Twitters will tell you the most important thing that ever happened to anyone ever is happening today, right now.
Yeah.
And I want you to be very clear that we are in no way talking about that on this show, even a little bit.
Nope.
I have a question for Andy I'm going to ask him, and it has nothing to do with politics. There's something I want to say, and Andy, I think without getting into specifics, I can safely say you and I are completely voting for different people in this general election, I'm guessing. And it doesn't offend us, and we're friends, and we move on with our lives because we love each other and respect each other, and that's sort of how it's supposed to work. Am I correct?
You are correct, and if I could just interject something else, just to a smaller point that you just made.
Interject.
It is clearly not the most important thing that has ever happened in the world, because that would be the time I stubbed my toe last week, and it was really painful.
No.
And the
I
fact
know,
that it didn't
because I
make...
burnt my toast 2 weeks ago, and that was the worst thing that ever happened.
Ever.
Also, when they run out of Diet Coke at the Circle K, I get infuriated.
Running out of Diet Coke at the Circle K is God's will, Phil.
That cuts me. Trust me, I know about the question of theodicy, and I think about it all the time. Like, what kind of a just God would allow Circle K to run out of Diet Coke? That's the first thing. The second thing I want to so world. I guess what we're saying is vote if you believe that that's what you ought to do, and that's wonderful. But don't let it get in the way of your friendships and your love for each other, and don't be stupid about it. Just let's all be happy that we live in the kind of place we live in where we can disagree with each other and then watch ridiculous things on the Facebook and the YouTubes. Okay,
Indeed.
Now, right before this thing started, I went online and I read this. This is a rumor that I'm reading. A rumor that says the word is that Matthew Vaughn, the director of Kick-Ass, Stardust, and X-Men First Class, is in talks with Lucasfilm to helm Star Wars Episode 7. Sources tell me this is the main reason he dropped out of the X-Men sequel. Now, I'm just throwing that out there. This is not going to be our main topic of conversation.
Yeah.
And it could be totally delinquent by the time anyone even sees this.
Right.
This is not, for me, on the level of Brad Bird and Andrew Stanton, but this is not a bad choice.
No, all three of those movies I loved. I really did. I thought Stardust is wildly underrated.
Yes.
I think Kick-Ass is rated. I don't think it's the greatest thing ever, but I think it's really good. And I thought First Class was great.
Yeah, the First Class was just a blast,
Yes.
and a great return to form for that series. The best ones. I mean, really, that and probably my second favorite in the X-Men series. So
Sure.
after X2,
Sure.
It was just straight up solid. Okay, now you have something that you'd like to tell me. And by the way, viewers and listeners, Andy hasn't told me what this is. He says he's springing something on me.
Well, I've already given you a hint. If you have, yes.
Paying attention, so the chances are I didn't get it.
It's fine. Eagle-eyed viewers might have caught it though. And here's what I have to tell you. Look close. Phil,
Yeah,
internet,
yeah,
I don't have the boot with me.
yeah.
I'm sorry. That's all I have to say. It's regrettable. I'm sorry that this happened. I'm sorry if I offended anyone. I'm basically saying this because, Phil, you're aware that the Red Boot has more fans than either of us, or both of us combined. I promise you, there has not been a mishap with the Red Boot. The Red Boot will continue. I know. Look, man, Internet, clearly what just happened was that the natural order of things is so disturbed by me not drinking out of a Red Boot.
I don't even know you. I don't even know you anymore.
I know. In all seriousness, I just love the crap out of that red boot, and I'm actually kicking myself because it's something I enjoy drinking out of because it's just so big, and it's also, you may have noticed, red and shaped like a boot. So, I'm sorry. That won't happen again. So we're gonna segue.
It's also it's the only thing that proves me. Just saying.
It's the only thing that proves you what?
That you're a Texan.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
I do.
No offense. No offense.
You know what? My Texanness is you can't touch my Texanness. That's it. We're good.
Can't touch this. Okay.
No. Phil has a question for me. I don't know this question.
I do have a question for you. It's the most important question I've ever asked you. And I think because I've been thinking about this because we talk about movies all the time, and I think there's an essential part of the movie-going experience that we have not discussed, and I think it's really important.
Oh, I have ideas of what this might be now, and I'm so excited. Whatever it is, I'm excited.
You ready?
Hit me.
Okay, you and I are often people who go on diets, which is just a fact about us.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course, neither do I. No, I take it back. Neither of us are actually people who do that. Neither of us are people who have any questions or issues surrounding that issue in our lives.
Yeah.
What I would like to talk to you about more specifically is when we're not feeling that way and when we're just living life the way it's supposed to be lived. What do you get when you go to the movie theater? What is your favorite thing to get? Like, do you have like one thing you like? I'm at the movies. I got to get blankety blank, or is it like a game for you?
It is not. It's not a game. It is deadly serious, and I think you should know that. It is not a game, and I will thank you not to trivialize what we do. But I will say this: I do go through stages. I think.
Yeah.
But there is a, how to put this? There is a candy that I come back to.
Okay.
So not only do I go into a stage where I get this candy, if I'm not in another stage where I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to get popcorn, or I'm going to get Sour Patch Kids or something, I come back to that. And that is Twizzlers. I am a Twizzlers guy.
Wow. Okay.
And I realize that it's kind of like it's almost certainly like pressed red toxic waste because there's something.
Can we not have the conversation about how it's bad for you? It's such a waste of time.
No. I'm not talking about nutritional. I'm talking about like it tastes like it.
Oh, you don't even like the taste of Twizzlers?
No, I do. But part of it is like I like the taste almost because it has that weird plasticky, this is going to kill you, but not in the way that it's unhealthy because it's like actually plastic. Not
unhealthy like high in cholesterol, unhealthy like made of another thing that's not food.
Right. Like the Saturday Night Live commercial from the 80s, Happy Fun Ball. It's made from a substance that fell to Earth from outer space.
Right.
We make Twizzlers out of it. That's what we do.
I don't. I say this with all respect for your decision. I hate Twizzlers. I hate them.
I don't know anyone. And now,
my wife likes them. My wife enjoys the Twizzler from time to time.
I don't know anyone. And of course, now that I'm about to say this, we'll get 80,000 emails saying I'm exactly this way.
Only if it's our one viewer emailing us 80,000 times.
I certainly hope so. Viewer, do your job.
Rachel, make it happen.
I don't think there's a middle ground with Twizzlers. It's either like, those are. It's either like pretty good and too amazing, or absolutely not. No, and I'm just thinking. It's like the tequila of.
But you don't always need to get Twizzlers. You sometimes get other things. You'll go Sour Patch Kids or popcorn.
Sour Patch Kids, popcorn, never with butter. I've never been a fan of the butter. I can't do it.
I hate air also. I hate air and water and.
Is that your extraordinarily subtle way of saying that you like the fake butter? Is that what you're telling me?
Again, fakeness doesn't bother me. It's delicious. It's butter on your popcorn. That's like, yes. Yes. I don't even understand the thing. That's, yes.
Fair enough. It's funny that I don't go through that many stages of things that are chocolate. And I'm not quite sure why that is. Because I love the crap out of chocolate.
Chocolate's a tricky thing. Chocolate's a tricky thing. So because for me, if I can just do what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a large Diet Coke, I am clearly going to get, and I'm going to get Milk Duds.
Yeah.
And I am going to get popcorn, and it's all going to happen. I need to have all, the salty and the sweet and the this and that. It all has to happen at once. I'm very ritualistic. I'm very like I don't think twice about. I would never go to the movie theater and be like, okay,
what am I
I'm
getting?
not going to get Milk Duds today. It's like, all right, well, I'm going to the movie theater. Like, it's that thing where it's like, no one would ever say to me, what do you want? If they go to the movies with me, they'll just be like, I got you, go. You know, go save our seats or whatever.
Are Milk Duds?
Milk Duds have to happen.
Do they have, are they malt or no? Are those
the fact that you have to ask makes me so sad for the world. Milk Duds are caramel covered with chocolate. And they're soft and chewy caramel. They're not like, they're like, oh. I discovered them when I was in 8th grade, and I never looked back.
That's beautiful.
There are other things that I will get if I'm like if I'm doing like a double feature, and so there's going to be more candies involved because it's more than one movie, and I'm just going crazy. I'm going to blow it out. Sour Patch watermelons may come into play. Skittles may come into play.
Nice.
Then the fruity flavors come in. Then that's a possibility.
You know what's tough? You know what's tough about Skittles?
Nerds ropes.
Nice. You know what's tough about Skittles though? Unless you finish them before the previews end, which, I mean, come on, you do. But if you don't...
I have a rule. I'll tell you about my rule in a second.
Well,
continue.
If you don't, then you're reaching in and you don't know what taste you're about to get. You know what I mean?
I do. You know, Skittles, you have to eat... There's 2 ways to eat Skittles, okay? Yeah. There's 2 ways to eat Skittles. You either just... willy-nilly, and you can't have one. Like, you have to put 7 in your mouth. It's ridiculous. There are people who eat 1 French fry at a time. I eat like I have to put as much as possible.
Those people, no.
So Skittles, you either just willy nilly it and you just say, well, we'll see what happens, or you have to separate them out like a crazy person and then eat them in order, like which is what I do if it's light out. If it's light out and I have and I mean a very even remotely flat surface, yellows, oranges. This is the order I will eat them in. I will eat yellows, then purples, then oranges, then greens, then reds.
Now, should I assume from that red is your favorite? Is that what you're telling me?
Oh, red is unquestionably the best. I will switch green and orange.
I question it. I question it. I'm questioning.
You made a mistake. That was your fault.
I'm sitting here questioning. I hate you. I'm sitting here questioning.
As a human being, clearly red is the best. Now, the other thing I was going to say is I try. I will not open my candy until the movie has started. Otherwise, it will be gone before the movie starts. There are people who still have a little bit of candy left when the movie's over. I don't know.
People?
They're the same people who, when you go to the movies, you're like, "Do you want anything?" And they're like, "I'm fine." What? I only do that again when I'm on a diet and I'm being very careful. Like if I go to the movies tomorrow, which I hope to do, or Wednesday, which I hope to do. Mm-hmm. That'll be tomorrow when people see this. I'm hoping that I won't get anything. Because it'll be like I'll just go and go straight into the movie, watch the movie, and leave. But if it's
as your soul gently weeps because you don't have your Milk Duds.
Did you notice how when you walk into the movie theater, or when you walk into the lobby, you smell the popcorn and you're like, oh my! I have to eat all of the popcorn in the world. And then you walk out. If you can get through without getting the popcorn, if you walk into the screening room, if you walk into the theater, you stop smelling popcorn. It's like if you can get past. I feel like Admiral Akbar. It's a trap. It's a trap.
Right, or like the mythological sirens. As if you just get past their song, just steer the boat straight.
It's exactly like Vegas. They pump in oxygen so that you're just feeling awake. And the moment you walk out it's the moment you leave the actual playing floor or the casino. You're like, oh my, I'm so tired. What time? It's 2 a.m. But while you're in there, it's like, everything is artificial. I don't know anything. I'm a millionaire. And then you walk out and you're like, ah!
You know,
that's what it's like in the movies.
I am convinced that I have read this thing that I'm about to say to you. I could not tell you at gunpoint if it were something real or something that was like done as man, I bet they do this. Pumping in popcorn smell, like they pump in.
I asked
oxygen.
The lady at the movie theater if they did that. The last time I was there, I was like, I looked at her name tag. I love looking at their name tags, and I was like, Ashanti, let me ask you something. Do they? Sorry, that's her name. I was like, do they pump popcorn smell into this place? And she was like, what? I was like, they pump popcorn smell. And she goes, no, that's just the smell of popcorn. And I was like, I don't believe you. And then my friend was like, I used to work in movie theaters as a manager for many years, and I'm telling you, we never did that. And I was just like, you signed like a code of honor thing where you're not allowed to talk about the popcorn that they pump in there because you clearly do. Also,
and then I
don't know if there's a bigger juxtaposition in my life than when I go to the movies and I get the popcorn. Yeah. And I put the butter and the salt on it and mix it up. And I have a way of doing that is genius. And then I have the Milk Duds, and then I have the big tub of soda, and then I sit down in the movie theater like this. And then Ryan Gosling comes on the screen, and I'm like... It's like the saddest thing in the world. You see like these... or Ryan Reynolds, one of the Ryans. It doesn't really matter.
Right.
Ryan Reynolds will come on the screen, and he'll be like there with Blake Lively, and they'll be like, hello. And I'm like, I'm such a fat, terrible person. Why is there candy? So
can you tell me one movie trailer that you've seen where anyone named Ryan goes, hello? Can you just name one? I'll give you a second. I'll give you a second to think about it.
You ready for it?
Yes.
Gangster Squad. Ryan Gosling does it, I think, twice. Look, we all know they're not actually going, hello, but inside they're saying it. Inside it's oozing out of them, this sort of like their skinniness and their 24-hour-a-day workout regimen where they're like eating
87 pack, you know.
Yeah. Like seriously, his abs are up here. It's fascinating.
Here's the image that I actually wanna end on. The image of you like talking to Ashanti and your friend who remains nameless.
Better for him that he does.
Indeed. And they're like you start causing a scene, and you're like whatever you're piping in popcorn air equivalent of like Soylent Green is.
I was just gonna say that.
It's people as they carry away like and then like you're never heard from again. It's just like hey, what happened to that guy? And they're like, what guy? And that's just it. And that's all she wrote for you.
And my friend would have been like, that's what happens when you mess with the movie code.
That's you're right. You don't mess with the movie code.
I have one last question, and you don't no explanation. You just have to say an answer.
Okay.
If you had to go gay, would you go gay for Ryan Reynolds or Ryan Gosling? And you only had to do it once. Who would you go gay for?
Wait, are you asking me to choose between the two, or saying would I do it for either?
No, which one? Which Ryan would you go gay for if you had to go gay for one of them?
Gosling.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's not even a question.
I think Reynolds.
Phil, all that means is we don't have to fight over them. I mean, I don't see why you're upset that we've answered differently here. I
don't know. It's sort of like the Twizzlers Milk Duds thing, except unlike that question, I'm actually going to eat Milk Duds very soon. Again, very soon. I'm going to have Milk Duds and yes.
Don't sell yourself short. Don't hide your light under a bushel. I think if you put your mind to it, I think you can make it happen. Is all I'm saying. I'm
all set. We're all set here. The wife, the kid, we're good. It's all good. But thank you. Thank you for asking me to like dream big. I appreciate that.
Married, not dead, baby. Man, I'm a terrible person. I am a terrible person. We got to go before I start,
Okay, I love you. I love you all. We love America.
We do.
We love Ryan Gosling and Ryan Reynolds. We love
separately but equally.
Yeah, we love popcorn. We love Andy loves Twizzlers. I love Milk Duds. This has been a glorious podcast, in my opinion. Yes, maybe one of our best. It's just about nothing. It's glorious. I will see you tomorrow.
Yes, right. We will. Guys, this has been another Second Breakfast podcast. Have a great night.
Bye.